welcome to our second Digimon Adventure :2020 series of LostinTranslationmon. I'm May, and I'm joined by...
Stevie.
Yay!
And I'm Quinn.
And of course, the lovely Stevie and the lovely Quinn are joining us from the Moncast again. I was able to rope them back in, so that's good. And this time we're going to be talking about Wargame, which is the second episode of the new Digimon Adventure season. But before we start, I forgot to ask this in the last episode because I want to do something like I did with Atmon, which is I make some charts and stuff about our general ratings and our favourite character. So, who was your favourite character in the first episode?
Koshiro.
Probably Koshiro. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I was stuck between Koshiro and Taichi. I think I'm going to say Taichi because I want to be different, but also I think Taichi's just going to be a standout forever because I love Taichi so much.
Yeah, you're allowed.
Oh, and the answer to this question can be literally any character. It can be like human, Digimon, homeostasis, whatever, anything. But,
also, Tai's mom was great.
Taichi.
I'm glad she has not changed at all.
That was something that I forgot to add to my notes, so I forgot to cover it until I had uploaded the episode, and I was like, oh no, I have left out something in my notes. That is the not so good feeling. So yeah, so that's something that we'll be doing. We'll be doing it when we're talking about the overall discussion, but obviously for this time we talk about it at the start because I made a boo-boo. Alright, so onto the show. Episode 2 starts off from where episode 1 finishes, and we've got Yamato and Garurumon basically just being like, I want to say edgy show ponies?
Yeah.
I would call it just being cool, personally.
Oh, there's so many edges.
There's Yamato cool and there's normal people cool, and Yamato cool is edgy. I mean, it is cool, but he's showing off.
He also seems to know more about the digital world than other people, which is weird.
I kind of like it though.
I'm into it as long as they do give me a reason for it at some point.
Yeah, in Tamers we had Takado getting his Digimon to adult after everyone else basically, and Terriermon already could evolve to a Galgomon. So it's kind of reminiscent in that is that someone else gets to evolve off screen for the first time, and most likely before Agumon and Taichi even meet. So I think that's fairly cool. But yes, I like that fact that they've already evolved. They've already had their character growth clearly enough in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
And so Garurumon jumps over Taichi and Greymon and decides to beat up some Algomon, which is, I agree with Stevie, it's kind of cool, but still show pony-ish. She's like, hey, I just met you, but look how cool I am. It's...
We just met, and this is crazy. I'm jumping over you, so call me maybe?
Yeah, basically. And, so it's kind of a cool scene, but it's kind of also just well, there's Yamato.
He's got to assert his dominance.
Yeah, but in a really kind of, he's showing off. And then we've learned that Greymon and Garurumon actually know each other, and we know this because they start talking. Now, I hate the way that they talk.
Oh my god, it's the worst.
It's Princess Mononoke, right? Has anyone else seen that movie?
Yeah, and I do not like that.
So when they talk, their mouths do not move. It's this sort of echoing voice that's this disembodied voice coming out of the void, and it's just when they're
it's never not gonna bother me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Is it easier if you imagine little people inside them piloting the Digimon that are talking?
That does help.
No, it does help, but I just tried to think oh no, it's Princess Mononoke, which was kind of it's their spirit talking. I think it was never explained, but I think it was meant to be some sort of this is not them talking because they're wolves and wolves can't talk. This is them communicating with
magic. It's magic. Don't worry about it.
The lip sync was inside them all along.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I don't know how the dub's gonna do it. I guess just, make them talk a lot and say a lot of dumb jokes, and it'll be great. I hope there's a dub of this, just because it has so much potential for, being good and funny. I like the dub. It's good. Anyway, so basically they just ollie outie without saying much, and Taichi and Greymon follow because friendship. And he wants to work together, and he immediately says, oh, I'll introduce you to my friend. And he calls to Koshiro, hey Koshiro, I made a friend.
He does, and it's so
it's
good.
just It's
Yamato
hilariously
is so
accurate.
mad.
Yeah, and Yamato's just like being done the entire time, like, oh god, oh no. And Taichi's like, I made a friend, and they've not even spoken.
You
they're
you
just like,
did
"He is
call
my
it
friend
last
now."
week.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It was like hilariously accurate to my prediction because it was so like out there. Like Taichi's just like, this is my friend. We just met. Friendship, yay.
He's just
And-
threatened to punch me, but we're friends now.
Yeah, and I mean, Yamato's reaction is just so like reasonable. It's just like, what? Huh? What? He looked just so like annoyed, but then, and I was kind of surprised with Yamato's reaction to sort of like, oh, okay, your name's Koshiro. Where are you? Okay, you're at the station. Okay, and let's work together. And it's just sort of like he agrees to working together. Like I fully expected him just to sort of like, you know, whack Taichi's hand away and says, oh, I work alone or something edgy. But no, he's actually this Yamato's reasonable.
I think
Except for the fact that his voice is far too deep because it's Daigo from Try, but I'll get over it.
it's Daigo.
I'm fairly certain.
I wouldn't know. When
I
it comes
could
to
believe
Japanese
that.
voice actors, I cannot identify anything. So I have no idea if it's good or bad.
Well, it's deep.
I'm okay with deep
It is-
Yamato. Because
but
he's
he's
cool
10.
and he's edgy.
Yeah, but he's 10. Why is he so deep voice?
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
It's weird because Koshiro is like so
And the green
like
bandana.
high pitched.
Yeah, Koshiro,
Yeah.
like, I could believe it's the same actor. It's clearly not, but, like, they did a really nice job on it.
Yeah, and Taichi's probably the best voice though. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very different, but
It fits the character.
It suits. It fits.
Yeah.
It fits. But yeah, I was so surprised at my prediction about Taichi going, this is a friend. Okay, friends who I literally just met. Koshiro, my best friend, and Yamato, who I've not spoken to yet, but he is my friend. It's great.
Yep.
And Koshiro's in contact with other web experts who are knowing about this current crisis, and I just really, considering he was speaking in English on the
Yeah, I
on the
hadn't thought
computer,
of that.
which, by the way, fairly impressive for like a 10-year-old to be.
He's
this,
not
this
even. He's
bilingual.
like in 3rd grade. He's like
Yeah.
8.
Oh, he's 9. Yeah. Oh, I think he's 9 because I
Something
think
like
TK
that.
and Karia. Yeah.
But yeah, he's very young to be fluent in English. And
Unless like his
have
parents
contacts
are,
who will tell him classified information.
yeah, which like I think it's Wallace. I hope it's Wallace.
Oh no, if it's Wallace.
I am moderately convinced it's Genai.
Yeah, like, but that's
But how would
I don't
Genai
know,
know
there's
the
something-
real world things?
The same
Because
way
he's
he
Genai.
deleted all
yeah,
of the
fair
images of Digimon in the world. He just can.
that's
That
Jedi
too.
for you. Like he just kind of does that way. But also, isn't it creepy that a potential like who Koshiro would not know as a Digimon would only know as an old guy is talking to a 9-year-old on the internet? Like there's something just a bit
Yeah.
like Koshiro definitely lies about his age on the internet.
Oh, yes. And
Oh,
He
absolutely.
has Skype.
and Genai is well known for licking children.
Oh, not.
No.
Hopefully it's not bad Genai. Hopefully it's regular Genai.
I mean,
no.
regular Genai was pretty bad as well.
He was just old.
Yeah.
Like
And refused to answer
fine.
any questions.
Okay, that was
until
annoying.
it was, absolutely relevant.
Congratulations, you fulfilled the prophecy. What prophecy?
The new one I just made up, clearly. So, yeah, Taichi wants to form a team, and Yamato says he looks forward to working together, and then he runs off. But he's so, like, he acts like it's a business deal. Not that he wants to, like, be a team, but he acts like it's, like, oh, yes, I look forward to working with you, business partner. It's not yeah, let's do it together. And he's just sort of like, okay,
Yeah.
fine.
With Yamato, it's
Business
more of a
deal.
strategic decision because he's
Yeah,
too
which is-
cool to have friends.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But I like the fact that it's like a business decision and like, you know, this is what's best, because I feel like a lot of the time we've had our lone wolf character say, oh, I work alone,
Yeah.
like in Frontier, and it not being like, why would you want to work alone when you clearly aren't strong enough to fight the bad guy?
Yeah, or what's his name from season 6? Blue guy.
Kiraha?
Yeah, Kiraha was
Yeah.
really annoying.
Yeah, like, just, even if you don't have to like this person, you just work with them, and that's exactly, like, so far, I like this Yamato.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
fine
so
with him.
far, he's reasonable, because, yeah, sure, he's not different from Yamato. He's still, like, a little bit edgy, like, kind of a little bit done with Taichi just wanting to be friends all of a sudden. But Yamato didn't actually say anything mean. His face did, but he just kind of, like, introduced himself and then says, I look forward to working together, and then left, which, that's Yamato, but that's just, like,
Yeah.
better Yamato.
But yeah, so then from there we need to move on to breaking into the government internet or something.
Yeah, and finding out about the nuclear submarine, which I'm glad that Yamato is acting a bit like Ray and Atmon in that he's like, hey, 9-year-old, how do you get this information? I have a lot of connections. Yeah, but isn't this classified information?
Yep.
Like, I just completely love how Yamato is speaking for the audience, which gives me good feelings about this season because I was starting to like, okay, how does Koshiro have these connections? Why does he have these connections? Is anyone going to say how like illegal all this information would be to have? Nope. Yamato is going to point it out, and that makes me positive about the show.
I will be a little annoyed if they actually do stick with that as being just the only explanation for how he has information he should not have.
It will only make sense if it's Genai.
Yeah.
It'll only be good if it's Genai because would make sense that Genai, he would probably live on the network, would be able to see all this information.
Sure.
And if Koshiro is already connected with Genai, in not in a creepy Genai way, but like in a good old man, nice Genai way, maybe it's Eucalyptus from Australia. I don't know.
But anyway. What if it's Tentomon inside the network who's contacting him?
Oh, that'd be even better. That'd be great. I want that.
That'd be cool.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. My brain was just set on Wallace, but like it being Tentomon is sweet.
Tentomon would be so good. Also, I'm just throwing out there that one of his contacts should be Leomon for no reason.
Yeah, I should have paused and seen like if I could make out any of the contacts on Skype. I'm fairly certain it was in not Japanese, not English, but like in some like runes of like you're meant to not be able to read it. It's meant to look like fuzzy text, but if you look close, it's like just
I could believe
shapes.
That. I did not look at it too closely.
Yeah. But I really would like to see the contacts and like see if he's got like Tento, Genai, Wallace. I don't know, something like that. It'd be cute.
That'd be really good. Also, I kind of want him to just, like, know some of the other characters already.
Yeah.
And Mimi being friends would be great.
Yeah, imagine if he's, like, friends with, like, a 7-year-old. Or, no, she'd be 8. Miyako. No, wait, no, she'd be... How old is...
Miyako would be the same age as Hikari, so she'd probably be...
No, she's a year older than Hikari.
Oh, right, she is. So, yeah, she'd be Koshiro's age.
Yeah, which I've...
Oh, no, maybe a year younger, because he was in high school.
Yeah, I think... Koshiro might be 10, so Miyako would be 9?
Something like that, yeah.
Should be Iori's age in 02.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain.
Anyway, it would be cool if they knew each other.
Well, we know... Well, I mean, different
I don't think
continuity
it'll happen,
and all.
But
yeah.
I would be surprised if they included the 02 characters.
But Miyako knew Koshiro in 02.
That's true.
I know it's a different continuity, but like...
I mean, I'd be into it, but if Try didn't let those characters exist, I don't think this one's going to.
Well, Kazuna let them exist, so
that's
good enough for me.
But that's good.
Yeah. Well, the screenshots that show it, and I know that... I mean, I read it, but
sure.
There are screenshots that show that they exist.
Okay.
So it's not a spoiler to know that they do exist in Kazuna. I'd like them to exist in Adventure Colon just because I like the 02 kids. I would like to see them written well.
Yeah. Plus, I think if you introduce them now, you could set up for a cool 02 colon.
Yeah.
Which would be fun.
And, like, you know, if this season is good, yeah, sure, make more colon series. Just remake all the series, but better.
God, that'd be so good with Tamers.
Yeah, like, imagine if they grabbed a season and imagine Frontier colon, which would be...
Oh, that'd be wild.
Because Frontier had good ideas, but was just bad. But imagine if Frontier was good, that'd be... I feel like that could be the best season.
Yeah, it had some real good world building.
Yeah, even Cross Wars also has the potential to be a good season.
I liked Cross Wars more than most people, except for Young Hunters.
Yeah, Young Hunters did pull it down a lot, but there are a lot of, especially in the second half of Cross Wars, there were some good episodes.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. But anyway, more colon series, if it's just improvements on original world building, that's good. Thumbs up to that idea.
So once we break into the government side of the internet by jumping into a stream that looks kind of like the Tamers thingies.
Yeah, and also it reminded me a little bit of in our war game when they're jumping through the internet.
Yeah, it definitely had some of that, but I was specifically thinking of the beam me up bits from Tamers.
Yeah, yeah. Which like I like that. I like those
they clicked on a link.
Teleporting. Yeah. Though I think I preferred in our war game where they just sort of bashed on a wall that had like a link on it and just broke it. Like
That was
so,
good.
it's
That
so
was
fun.
great.
I do like seeing the way that the internet is portrayed in Digimon, and I don't know, it is cool. Like, you're traveling through the internet. It's kind of cool.
I am
right?
hopeful that this will not be the digital world in its entirety.
I don't think it is, because we know what the next episode's called.
Yeah, I was just about to say that the next episode preview,
Oh, that's good.
Is
I forgot
something.
that.
But-
So good.
yeah. But, so we jump through the internet. Meanwhile, we see that Taichi's mum and sister are safe, and Hikari looks unwell or sad, and I'm worried that we're going to get a sick child arc, because I hope she's just concerned, or she's maybe hearing Homeostasis' voice, or...
I mean, the feathers were something.
Yeah, the feathers look really cool, but I guess we'll get to that in a bit.
Hikari has just been in, like, a train thing, so I understand her
Yeah,
being distressed.
it would be reasonable, but yeah, I hope that is not all of her character arc.
Yeah, because I don't want her to be just, this is the sick girl, let's forget about it in the next season, and never mention it ever again. Like,
Just none of that.
it can be done well. Yeah.
Don't turn Hikari into a sexy lamp again. For so
Yeah,
many
don't.
reasons, that's bad.
Yeah, just make her a character. Make her a good character. Don't make her just the sick girl, because
Yeah.
that is not her personality. She can be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm worried. Hopefully she's just been in some almost like deadly situation and she's 8, or she's worried about her brother, or she's just having some magical homeostasis angel feelings or something. That is probably more likely.
I'm
But for a
inclined to say
second,
so.
yeah, I was worried she was going to collapse or something.
Yeah.
I don't want her to
And,
be
like, and
the agent of homeostasis again, because then she is just another vehicle for exposition.
I do want them to give me some explanation of what the hell the feathers were about.
Yeah, I'm worried that that's just digital world magic. Or maybe Jedi is just sort of like dropping them on these children. It's like, drop.
It was a prophecy
But,
that they would grab the feathers of light and hope and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was a great scene, though, but I guess we'll get
We haven't
to
gotten
that
there
when
yet,
it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, we're nearly there.
So we see a larger group of Algomon, and Garurumon's attacking a swarm, and Greymon notices the bigger one is wide open, so they sort of realise, Taichi's more or less distracting this big guy while we can fight him while he's distracted. And we have a great scene of Taichi fighting hands-on again, which is
that's
the
good. I
best.
hope that continues.
Yeah, and I like it because I like how involved the children are in this show.
You know,
because
and
we've
a
got-
thing we've been complaining about for forever.
Yeah, like this episode has a lot of bits that I'm negative about, but it does do things like Yamato is riding Garurumon the entire time and pointing out attack, do this. He's giving orders. That is cool. He's not standing there from far away going, yeah, Garurumon, yeah,
That
do
being
it.
said, they should both be dead at the end of the episode.
Well, they have battle damage.
I mean,
Like,
he's
all
holding
four
his
of them.
elbow, but all 4 of them were smashed into a wall hard enough to make a crater. That should have
Greymon
liquefied
squished
their
Taichi.
bones.
Oh, definitely. Taichi was riding on Greymon's horn, and he fell backwards and he fell off, and Greymon, I'm pretty sure, sat on him. But we are also not... We're not in any physical world. We're not in the human world. We're not in the digital world. So we could just say, this is just because they're in the net. I appreciated Yamato holding his arm, though. He was good at working that, yeah. But, so they are fighting, and Koshiro gives us a countdown because
Of course.
it's our war game, yeah. And somehow Taichi's hasn't fallen off Greymon's horns yet, and he just looks very precariously placed on top of the horns.
Really does.
Like, was anyone else nervous the entire time for Taichi?
Yeah, but then I thought about the first episode of Adventure where he climbs a tree without any trouble and just sits on the branches, so he's probably fine.
Yeah, hopefully. But climbing a tree and climbing a dinosaur that's moving are very different things.
Getting up there's easy. If Greymon's still. Then he could just
Yeah,
sit there.
because, Greymon probably picked him up and put him up there.
I think Greymon, got on his knees and bowed, and Taichi climbed him.
I
because
would
a lot
like
of the
to
time
see
in the-
that happen.
I feel like we see Greymon bow a lot in this episode. Like, he just looks like he's, taking the knee. He's just, he's
Yeah.
got one knee up and one knee down. He
I
looks
know
like
we
he's
covered it
bowing.
last time, but God, I dig Greymon's just kind of awful-looking distended stomach when he does the mega flare thing.
Which makes sense, because his stomach is presumably on fire,
Yeah. It makes a lot of
And he's-
sense, and
and he's regurgitating it.
I love that I hate it.
Yeah, I love that it makes me uncomfortable because if you think about it, Digimon is some fairly body horror stuff. Like, evolution, that's body horror. That is terrifying. I'm glad that we see that in animation clips now. Because
that's why I'm sad about us not seeing Gabumon, because I want to see Gabumon digivolve into Garurumon.
I feel like his, like, jacket would eat him. Like, I feel like it's some parasite, like Paris, and evolving to Parasect, where the mushroom just overcomes him. What if it's the same with his jacket? His jacket is just like this parasite who just starts eating him, and then that's what Garurumon is.
I want to see it. I hope we see it.
Me too. I want it to be gross, because
Give me some
Digimon
real
should be
body
body
horror. Oh my god.
Yeah, it should be. So they do a combined attack, but of course the Algamon evolves, because of course he does.
Yeah.
And suddenly Greymon and Garurumon are not strong enough. And this is where we have Yamato holding his arm, which is good, because of course he was just thrown to the side and squashed. So, yep, that should hurt him. I'm glad that it was at least one part of his body. It should be the entire part, but baby steps. Taichi suggests working together, despite the fact we've already suggested working together. That's what they're kind of doing, but I guess he says, hey, how about we do the shounen thing and we just try attacking harder? And Yamato looks troubled.
Yeah.
So
it's a good little fight. I really am enjoying the art style, I have to say.
Yes. I love that it's such like an improvement, and it's still very recognizably Digimon Adventure. Like the style is the same, but it's different and better. Like it just looks more developed, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's like little things I notice which are just significant improvements over the original series. Like when
yes, definitely.
When Garurumon jumps on Algomon, instead of him just being like a static image that's being moved around, his legs flail around and stuff. Just little things like that, where it's just more sort of energy in the animation. It's so much more exciting to watch.
Oh, definitely. Like when I was making GIFs for the Twitter, the Twitters, I was trying to make good looping images, which was actually really hard because
they don't
not
that well. Yeah.
Yeah, because guess what? They're not static like stock images. The Digimon around them are moving. They are moving differently for each attack. The background is moving in such a way that is harder to loop, which makes sense. Their movements are in different frames and in different angles, and the only part that I could almost sort of use as a loop was Garurumon firing his Foxfire, but even then, the movements were still very different. So they seem to be they're definitely using the stack images from the first season as a reference, but they're still, I feel like that they feel less stack imagey for this season, and I like that. I like that the animation seems dynamic. I'm a big fan of it. It looks good.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention when we were there earlier that hologram Koshiro is my favorite thing. He was so tiny and so happy looking.
He's so tiny. Just like, it reminded me a cross between Chobits and Red versus Blue.
We don't talk about Chobits.
Yeah, we don't. That's weird. I watched it when I was like 11. That's a weird show to watch when you're 11.
It was a weird thing to get introduced to as one of your first anime. No.
I don't think I've ever heard of Chobits.
Good. Well, it's Clamp. You can tell that by the hands.
It's just, what if Clamp did something really not good for a change?
What if there was a girl that was a robot? Where would you put her on button? It's as bad as you think, and I can't.
That would turn me on, but
like the
not
neck?
when men do it.
No.
I don't know.
No, You can look it up, but Chobits, why? Why would you, why?
Because
why?
Clamp is weirdly horny.
Yeah, Clamp, calm down.
The horny police
Clamp
have to be called.
Yeah, Clamp is so weird in that every show that they've made is so different. Like, Code Geass is completely different to Chobits.
Yep. Anyway.
And then we've got Cardcaptor Sakura. Anyway, yes,
Digimon. Digimon's a thing.
Imagine if Digimon was made by Clamp.
I want to see that. But also, we need to do translation card.
Yes, we do. Anyway, so it turns out that Yamato has a plan, and Taichi is a mind reader because he's able to tell that Yamato has a plan just because he's just standing there.
Yamato is so bad at communicating.
Yeah, I like that Yamato's so bad at communicating, but it's okay because he's got his extrovert to communicate for him. He's just like, you have a plan, don't you, boy? Like, it's so great. Like, also,
is he following the well?
Is everything okay, boy? Boy, you show me, boy. It's adorable. Also, Taichi is himself a dog in the way that he's like, these are my friends. I just looked at them. They're my friends.
I'm reminded of maybe my favorite single moment in Log Horizon, where this character realizes that she's not scared of this guy when she normally is, and she can't figure out why, and she realizes it's because he reminds him so much of a golden retriever.
Oh.
And it's just and then they get together and are just like the best OTP, and I love them.
That's great. I love that. But also, golden retrievers are so good. Dogs are good. Oh. So they decide to do Yamato's risky plan, which I was really hyped up to see what this risky plan was. And they fist bump with their Digivices, which is so cool. And turns out the risky plan is just, okay, how about if we attacked him but from behind? And also let's bite him and fire our attacks.
I mean, I understand why he thought that was risky, because they did effectively blow themselves up.
Yeah.
But I also really thought they were just going to do the showgrass.
Yeah, or Yamato has some special information about, there's evolutions past this one or something. No, Yamato doesn't speak. He just says, it's a double-edged sword. Okay, let's do it. And then without communicating, they just attack. And then
it's so bad.
They fall back and they are more or less fine. Also, their Digivices glow with their crests, which is fairly cool.
I'm into that.
I guess we're definitely not getting a crest collection arc, which is
that's good.
Which is great. Big fan of not getting that. The let's all get our crests and tags and everything. We already have them. That's fantastic. Let's keep on doing that.
Have they announced the number of episodes this week?
Nope. We know that there's at least 6 because they've released synopsises and episode titles for 6 episodes, I think.
Wild.
But it's clearly not 6. It's clearly more than 6.
Sure.
So it's not
just that's such a weird decision to not tell people.
Yeah. I'd be totally happy with it being 50 episodes.
Yeah, same.
If it's good,
make more.
And I'll talk more about this in the discussion part, but if this was just the Yamato and Taichi show, as in the first 2 episodes, I'm okay with that. That is good. Keep on keeping on with just covering characters at a time, because that's good, because we get to focus on other characters who aren't Taichi and Yamato, and that is good. Keep on, good. 50 episodes of a good show, I can do that. Let's do that. But again, nothing that I've seen has confirmed the total number of episodes. It's more than 6.
All right.
Yeah. So we think we've defeated Algomon, but the clock is still ticking down, and Koshiro says, oh guys, the clock's still counting down. And then it turns out the missile ends up being fired from the nuclear submarine, and Algomon stands again. Yeah. And there's a great shot here where all 4 of them have some battle damage at least, or at least they have marks on them. And big fan of that, because the amount of times we actually see that in Digimon is 1, and it's Galgomon who has a scratch on his face, and I think it actually stays until the start of the next episode. But that's the only time I can remember much battle damage happening. We've seen scratches here and there, but I feel like this is consistent battle damage, so yeah, I'm a fan of that, especially on the kids. The kids looked like they were in danger in this episode. We had Algomon actually fire an attack at the children. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I hope we see more of that.
Yeah, more child murder, please. That's what I want, because we only have that less than 10 times in all of Digimon. Mm-hmm. Koshiro has identified the missile target, which you can probably guess it's Tokyo, because
that's fine.
That's the perfect place.
That's fine, as long as it's not Odaiba. We're fine.
Odaiba's in Tokyo.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I didn't know
they're
that.
still in Tokyo.
Nuclear missiles are much lower yield than they used to be.
Yeah. And this one's one of the ancient ones.
That could be.
Yeah.
Submarines not surfaced in over 30 years.
No. They're the second generation of army personnel that's in that sub. They're like that spaceship that has all the fetuses on, and they all they live their entire life there. I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway.
So they just sent a submarine full of babies down there.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would like to not think about this.
Yeah. Me too. Don't know why I started it. Anyway, we get some shots of Takeru and Hikari with a floating feather, which is pretty cool. And meanwhile, we see that Algomon has evolved again, and he aims a huge attack at Taichi and Yamato. And when Hikari and Takeru touch these falling feathers, their crests are activated. And we see an egg on Koshiro's screen, and it turns out to be Omegamon, and I love the fact that this has the egg around Omegamon just like in our war game, and I was also so relieved that we get Omegamon here, and that, like, yesterday morning... Yeah. No, I'm glad we have it out of the way. But yeah, continue. Explain to me why you disagree.
So, on the one hand, I'm fine with doing it a little earlier, but, like, 4 of the kids have not yet had a line, and 6 of them have not met their partner yet, and I feel like we're just gearing up for the Taichi and Yamato show.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you, and it does seem very fast-paced, like, oh, we're all of a sudden at, like, super ultimate.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the second episode as well.
In the second episode.
And so, like, either they're gonna have to nerf this and, like, I don't know, Koromon goes back to a Digi-Egg after this, or, like, we're gonna have to make super ultimate Jogresses the gimmick for the season, which I feel like they would have, like, I don't know, teased a little more.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of any problem that Omnimon cannot solve, but Kabuterimon can.
Maybe it's like a one-off thing and they can never do it again, or their Digivice breaks or something.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
you either have to nerf that or... yeah.
Yeah.
And if you do nerf it, then, like, the big goal for the rest of the season is going to be, okay, we have to get Omnimon back.
Unless, like, Agumon and Govamon now disappear and the rest of the season is just, like, finding them, like, collecting their bits.
That might be
like,
okay.
strewn somewhere. I don't know. I don't think it's that, but...
I don't want that, because Yamato riding a big blue wolf is too cool.
Yeah, I do like Yamato, like, giving orders to his Digimon, and again, it's like Kuroha from Cross Wars, but better.
I very much appreciate Yamato's switch to purple.
Yeah.
His outfit is definitely better.
Yeah, I mean, Koshiro's definitely worse, though, because he's got, like, socks and sandals.
Yeah, it's very fitting for the character, but I do not like it.
Yeah, Hikari's has the best design, though. I think we said that last... yeah, that's an outfit. I would wear that, and I'm not 8 years old.
I have an outfit not that different.
Though, to be fair, she might be at the age where the parents still dressing her, and that's probably why she looks good.
I mean, fair, but even so.
Yeah, Koshiro has clearly been dressing himself because his parents seem normal, or he's like letting Mimi dress him or something. I don't know.
Is Koshiro still adopted?
I hope so. I mean, I hope so because that was some actual
that was a
episode.
Big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I like the family dynamics because they're all just different ones. We don't have any like abusive parents,
which is good.
Which, like, I'm kind of torn because I'm just like, but you're meant to show all types of parents, and all of these parents are really supportive and lovely, and I want all these parents.
I mean, the point was that here are all the different types of totally valid families, and so throwing in an abusive parent, not so much. But I can.
Can we have a have a gay parent? Like,
that'd be amazing.
Yes. I want that.
Make it Mimi. Mimi just has 2 moms. It's great. They love each other. One of them makes terrible food.
They're both CEOs.
Yes. And they were
of a
roommates.
tech company. Yeah, and they were roommates. That'd be great.
Oh, please.
But yeah, Omegamon being in this episode, just a couple of hours before I watched this episode, I was on the With the Will podcast, and I said, I think Omegamon's going to be really soon and won't be like a big part of the season. And everyone's like, no. And I'm just like, yes, I was right.
We don't know how big a part Omnimon's going to play, though. Or
I know, but
the
fact that it's early. I mean, when I say big part, I mean like not a big. I mean, it was a big reveal, but it's not.
It's not going to be the last episode kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like a little hint of something that's in like 50 episodes time or something we see in the last episode. It is something we're seeing in episode 2.
We just skipped Metal Greymon, Wegarurumon, Metal Garurumon.
Yeah, and so we're really going to have to not be able to do this regularly.
Yeah.
And I really hope that the other kids get their own Super Ultimate version.
Yeah, like Ceresmon being Piomon and Palmon's Super Ultimate.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Plus,
and I like that because
I do not particularly like it when the 2 main character boys just get more power than everybody else.
That's why I liked Savers, because everyone was more or less at equal footing at the end.
It's what I really disliked about Frontier, among other things.
Yeah, and Tamers almost had everyone at equal footing.
Yeah, it was close enough.
Dukemon got an extra evolution, but it's still good.
Like, it's still
fine,
better
than
it was
Frontier.
For only like the last episode.
Yeah, and also like it wasn't that much stronger. I felt it just could fly.
Yeah, which the others pretty much could anyway.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it was just sort of like Dukemon is the worst, so let's make him just a little bit better. Because he had to compete with Sakuyamon, so...
It's really hard to compete with Sakuyamon.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, we have Omegamon, and his eyes glow, and the episode ends just as I was getting like pretty into the fact that we saw like Hikari and Takaru like touch some feathers, and we saw like Crest activate too, and yeah, we see Omegamon, and I'm also thinking, is this event going to be something that the other Chosen are watching, and then that makes them activate their own crests?
I don't
is this
think
event...
so.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is a heightened view terrace event type thing.
Yeah, because
Maybe.
we don't know if that happened.
If they go that route and they don't cameo the O2 kids, I'll be mad.
I feel like I would like them to, but I feel like we would have the O2 kids in more promotional material unless they're just sort of like they'll be cameoed for like a second.
Yeah, that's all I'm
and
saying.
Then
just put them on
dropped.
the screen for a second, just so that I can know that they were there.
Yeah, but also I kind of want to see their new designs.
That would be great.
Like I want to see 2020 Miyako just hanging out. Like
I want to see 2020 Miyako who just wears the aviator helmet in the real world because she's into it.
yeah, it's just like that. She's just kind of like one of those adventure girls who just dresses like that. And
God, I would want to be that girl.
Yeah. So yeah, the episode ends, and yeah, just I was so like kind of just sort of felt flat and disappointed because it ended, and I was like, I was getting really excited. Oh no, this is what it's like to enjoy something, huh?
Well, at least there's next week.
At least there's unless they've decided it's only 2 episodes long and they were just pretending with the other episode titles. Highlights. What were your highlights about episode 2?
Everything Yamato. That's what I'm going with. I really like Yamato in this.
Yamato was pretty edgy, and I'm on the fence about that, but he did pull it off well for this first episode. I'd like him to melt a little bit as we go on.
Yeah, and I'm sure he will. Like, I'm glad that he's not being nasty to Taichi. Like, we have that as a problem with Lone Wolves, is that they will meet their Goggle Kid / Masaru and just be a jerk.
Yeah, and he was edging close to that, and I hope we don't get too much of that. I'm sad we did not get a harmonica out of him.
Yeah,
There'll be
or like
time.
any harmonica sound. But yeah, there will be. Maybe it's like tied to his wrist with like that green armband
Oh,
or
that'd
something.
be so good. I want that.
Yeah,
But-
I think he's a good amount of edge. I was worried when he showed up because he looked like he was going to be awful. But
Yeah.
it turns out that, like, okay, we'll work together because, you know, if 2 is better than 1 in terms of fighting the bad guy, so let's fight. And I like that. I like the fact that he's not a jerk. And I feel like, is this the first time we've had, like, the Lone Wolf not be a jerk? Because we didn't get one in Atmon, but I feel like the Lone Wolf's always been a bit of a jerk, right?
Yeah, and yeah, so far he's stayed away from going too far into that, which is good. I am still just in love with the art style and the little bit of body horror you get out of everybody's attack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same sort of animation level as Try, I would say.
I think it would be better.
I think it's better than what Try could do. God, especially from last week, the evolution sequence, which I'm a little sad we did not get with Omegamon.
Yeah. The fandom seemed to be fairly torn about not having evolution sequences like we used to with the Agumon Digivolve 2 Greymon spinning around in a circle.
Oh no, I am 100% on board with the change.
We don't need the
I prefer
spinning.
it because...
Especially when you'd get like 8 of them in a row and it's just half the episode gone.
Yeah, because we get something happening during the evolution. We get like actual animation. We get them to attack or them still carry on fighting, or we get more reactions from the other characters in the way that in the crossover episode of Young Hunters where we had Digimon evolving and we saw what a Jolgaris or a Spirit evolution looked like from the outside. It's terrifying. And I like that we see reactions like that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are torn. Like, I'm really angry that we don't get Braveheart and...
I would
evolution.
not have objected to some Braveheart over the sequence.
See, I'm glad we get unique songs, we get unique, like, soundtrack, because...
Well, you know what I mean, though. A
it's a new show,
specific evolution music would be okay for me.
Oh, yeah, like an insert song or something, and maybe we'll get something, but now I think about it, Atmon didn't really have an evolution song. It had, like, Vivizelas for some reason.
Yeah. Which was not a bad change.
No, it wasn't bad. It was kind of like, I guess, moving to something new, and Adventure Colon is something new. But I'm for having something that's not an evolution sequence, just because we get to probably have something that's good.
Yeah.
And like there's that episode of Adventure where it just starts off with like, I feel like it's like 8 minutes of evolutions.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen upwards of 4, and it's kind of ridiculous. And I have said for a long time that the amount of time spent in evolution sequences, it correlates inversely with quality of the episode.
Yeah, and definitely. I've always said that too. Yeah, it's because you skip evolutions because there's so much to do in 20 minutes. So there's so much plot and so much like character growth or moments or anything. We didn't have time to have like 3 minutes of evolutions per episode.
Mm-hmm. That and just the body horror of watching Agumon expand into Greymon was amazing.
Yeah. Because definitely. it should look like that. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be comfortable. It's your body is changing. Like,
this is puberty happening to you.
Yeah, I was just about to say it is.
It is horrifying, and you will hate it.
It hurts. You're growing in places, and it hurts. And evolving should hurt because it is all that, but very sudden. Mm-hmm. And I think Tamers and Frontier were the only ones who looked like evolution wasn't comfortable.
Just reminds me of Digimon World on PS1, where the Digimon just explodes before being put back together.
Yeah. That too. Like, Digimon World had some good animations in terms of this is what it should look like. And even the V-Pets, it has them changing between two forms, sort of flashing and screaming out, and it's I like it. I like. In terms of my other highlights, definitely my accurate prediction on Taichi being like, this is my friend. We're friends. Yay, friends. Because, like, this is a good Taichi. This Taichi's, like, so far they've taken already, like...
He is just all of his best qualities.
Yeah, and same with Yamato. Like, Yamato has good parts, and I kind of hope we get, like, a Cave of Depression episode, because imagine if that was done well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not totally sold on Yamato yet, but I'm hopeful that they will build to that.
I just realised...
I feel like I can be.
I've just realised why I really like Taichi and Yamato. And it's because so far they just seem like Gon and Killua from Hunter x Hunter, and that's like one of my favourite animes.
Gay, but
oh my god, yes, because Gon just adopts him as a friend. He's like, hey, we're the same age, and Killua's like, yeah, and Gon's like, okay, we're friends now, and Killua's just like, okay, I guess I'm kind of like from like a family of badasses, but whatever, we're friends now. I love that. I love them so much.
They are so good.
And also, like Hunter x Hunter, we have an old season and like the new season. So maybe it's just Hunter x Hunter now.
I would be so okay with that.
Young Hunter Hunters.
Yes, Young Hunter Hunters. Oh my gosh, it's the best.
Same vibe from the intro song as well. That sort of just adventure, happy theme.
Yeah, like shonen, there's a lot of shonen that like it seems very samey, but in this way it's sort of like, I want to say uniquely samey, but like it's a shonen. It is a shonen. We haven't had any, hey, remember that time 5 minutes ago? Let's reminisce on it. Yet that is another sign of a shonen. But yeah, like, hey, remember Hunter x Hunter explaining Nen 7,000 times? I sure do, because they explain it 7,000 times. Anyway, so my highlights are also, I'm kind of like happy Omegamon is introduced early, but I don't know how they're going to go from here. I have enough faith in this season that, well, 2 episodes, I have faith already. Am I an idiot? Maybe. And I have enough faith that they'll go somewhere good with this, but I'm kind of relieved that we're pulling Omegamon early and it's not like this huge thing, because we already see him and it's kind of like, it means that it might be less of a Titan Yamato show, maybe, but overall, I'm also torn about how I feel about the pacing of the show. It's my highlight and my low light. At the same time, it's just like, okay, cool, we're getting out Taichi Yamato very early. That means we can focus on other characters. But at the same time, it seems so fast. Like, reading the reaction from other people on various social media websites, Reddit, and every other website I go on to talk about Digimon, there's a general consensus that this is very, very fast-paced, because we're at Super Ultimate already, and we haven't even introduced any other characters yet, besides a couple of them. And yeah, so I'm kind of torn. I'm hopeful, and this episode was okay, I guess. But yeah, I don't have that many highlights other than Taichi and my huge amount of faith that I have in the show already. What about you guys?
So, I mean, I already mentioned, for me, Omnimon was definitely a low light. I don't mind bringing it in sooner, but I definitely would have liked to bring in all of the characters before we went that high into it.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have so far looks like our first 2, maybe 3 episodes are going to be just a recap of a movie we already had is not my favorite thing.
Yeah, well, I think we're done with our war game stuff this episode, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, presumably at the beginning of the next, and then we go into digital world stuff, but...
Yeah, which is exciting.
It is exciting.
They've got to defeat Algamon and stop the missile before they can go to the digital world.
Right, so I mean, I'm not going to be that surprised if we just end the episode with going into the digital world.
Or the battle is literally the first 30 seconds because Omegamon's so overpowered.
It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
But I want a dynamic fight between the two.
Yeah, me too, but like maybe they don't want to show Omegamon off too much, or maybe Omegamon isn't so much a Digimon as an attack. I don't know. But
I'm hoping that Omegamon's going to be something that only comes out like in times
very
of
rarely.
Absolute crisis.
Yeah. Which is kind of what he's meant to be.
Mm-hmm. I was into the idea someone had of, okay, so now for the next, 2-3 episodes, they're back to Digi-Eggs.
Yeah. Which would be a nice change of pace. Mm-hmm. Like, usually it's
make the
another
other kids
character.
Carry weight.
Like, Takeru carried around a Digi-Egg and didn't have a Digimon that could fight for, like, I want to say 20 episodes?
Something like that, yeah.
And we had Zoe in Frontier not being able to evolve at all for a large chunk of episodes.
Which I was sort of okay with if
like
it
10.
had not been the girl.
Yeah. It could be anyone else. Why did it have to be her? She was going to be useless at the end of the season. So I'd be okay with it happening to the 2 main characters because it's not something we've really seen where the 2 main characters are sort of completely useless.
Yeah,
for
make them
while.
deal with being useless for a bit.
Yeah, I'm quite fond of the idea that because they've pushed the Digimon so hard so fast, they basically have to reset the progress and then build it up again like at an actual steady pace instead of basically just putting it into overdrive too soon.
Yeah, but also, like, I mean, I know in the first season of Adventure we had Taichi kind of feeling anxious and not able to do much because he had just pushed his Digimon to evolve and he dark evolved and then he was kind of like anxious and didn't want to fight, and that was nice that we had him not being able to fight.
Could we please get a dark evolution?
Yeah, can like it be like a good one as well?
Just the flesh drips off of Greymon.
Oh
God, that'd be so good.
It'd be good, and it should be like that because it's literally a skeleton, but gross. Like, I'm not sure how much they can do for a kid's show, but like, I'd be a fan of that, but it'd be gross. But that's
fine.
It should be.
I hope
should
we see more
gross.
of these evolutions.
Or, God, give me, instead of Patamon going into Angemon, Patamon goes into Devimon.
Oh, I wanted that in part 3 of Try so badly, I almost thought it was happening.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but no.
No, we can't have it be that good. And, oh well. But, yeah, so overall this episode, there were some highlights. What about lowlights?
I didn't like that the 2.5 minute timer lasted for like half the episode.
Yeah.
Because that was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it was moving very fast and slow.
But
it's not unique to it.
It was weird. Just like there was 7 minutes in, I think, when the 2.5 minute timer started. So it's a solid 15 minute long 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess that's because we saw things happening at the exact same time. Like,
I mean, we did, but it still bugs me all the time in fiction when that happens. If Koshiro continues to be an unexplained Deus Ex Machina of just knowing way too much all the time, I will be disappointed. It's fine so far, but there's only so far a single lampshade can go with that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I don't know how we got Omegamon without any, like, dramatic friendship between Taichi and Yamato.
Whoa, they fist bumped.
They fist bumped. It was fine. I will be a little more okay with that if the other kids get to do that too. Especially if we can mix and match. That'd be so fucking good.
Yeah.
Because I was not a big fan of, in 02, I really wanted them to not just have one set Jogress partner. Because that would have been so neat. Oh, okay, well, I guess the two of us are stuck together. We had better make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they limited all of the arm revolutions as well. So it's kind of just the done thing is they don't have mixing and matching
only the
too
anime.
much. Yeah, I know that they exist,
the
but they aren't in the anime at all.
The anime also should definitely have done just trading around of eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, the CD drama, which was pretty good, they just accidentally grabbed the wrong D terminals.
Love it. That's beautiful.
Like, that's great. I love that.
And yeah, like, I would love some of that. If you're gonna do the Jogress, just make, Taichi and Hikari able to do a thing together. It's be fine.
Just big angels.
Yeah, just anytime two characters have a big moment together, they can do a Jogress. It's fine.
Yeah.
That would be
a
really interesting little gimmick for the season.
And it'll be more like Jogress themed. And maybe that's where the colon comes in, because it's like two things that are part of one
I think
symbol.
you're reaching there.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, that is a stretch, but like,
Did you
why
warm up
not?
for that?
Yeah, I did a little bit, but and my legs were a bit sore from jumping to that conclusion. But like, what if though?
That would be nice. If Jogress was the big thing of the season, I would be very into it.
Yeah.
But I think we'd have gotten some hints of that in the theme song.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Also, I was disappointed that Yamato was not in the falling into digital space part of the theme song.
Yeah, I was surprised, but maybe next episode, and then we'll know whether it's evolving or if it's literally just Taichi falling by himself, which is...
Yeah. Don't do that.
What about compared with the original series? And I guess it's just our war game.
Well, yeah. But episode 2 of the original series was Birth of Greymon. So that was literally just, let's just digivolve to Greymon. So there's a lot more going on. Yeah,
it's very different from the actual TV series.
So far, I'm definitely liking this better than I did Adventure.
Oh, yes, definitely. It's definitely more fast-paced. Like, by quite a lot.
But I hope that doesn't prevent them from doing character development.
Yeah, I hope that they're getting all this out of the way so they can do character development. And especially for the other characters that aren't Taichi and Yamato, because that was my main concern from the previous episode, which was, what if it is just Tai and Yamato the show again? Because I don't want that.
Koshiro not even having met Tentomon is disappointing, but maybe they'll take care of that next episode.
Yeah.
But that we have not even seen really half of the characters is worrisome, I think.
I think what I reckon they might be doing is cutting corners so they can get to a new story with the old characters.
Maybe
that would be
and that'd be fine if they do a new thing from here. I'm good with it, but I am still worried that they will just rehash the best moments of Adventure.
Yeah.
I do not want to file Island Arc to be the next thing.
No, if they do it well, though, I guess I'd be sort of on board, but I'm all for new stories. I don't really want to see a remix or rehash of stories we've already got. I want new stories. I want new character developments, because this is a new story, basically. They're more or less new characters, but with the same designs and similar sort of skeleton as the original character, if that even makes sense.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they're basically fast-forwarding through so that all the new watchers are at the same point as the hardcore Digimon fans that watch the original series, so they can then do new stuff with the characters.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. What about your favourite characters? Who are your favourite characters? Or favourite character, rather?
Can I pick Garurumon?
Yeah, you can pick Garurumon.
I pick Garurumon.
That's cool.
He's a cool wolf.
He's cool. He's a good boy. What about you, Quinn?
Yeah, Garurumon's good. Koshiro's still amazing, and I love him.
Hollow Koshiro's even better.
Hollow Koshiro, yes, best character.
Would you like a Koshiro in this trying time?
His smile when he met Yamato was just adorable. He's like,
definitely.
Tai said we're friends. And he's
so precious.
You can just call me Koshiro. You don't need to call me Izumi. And I love them. He's such a good boy.
He's a good boy. It makes me happy. So Koshiro's your pick again?
I think I'm gonna go with Koshiro. Yeah, he wasn't as involved, but I liked him a lot.
Oh, he was definitely he definitely helped. He gave them information that they needed. He was Futaba from Persona 5. He was just kind of there being the information giver.
He's the super hacker.
Super hacker. I'm boring. I'm going to pick Taichi again. Just because of his, meeting Yamato. Just well, hey, I've got to introduce you to my friend. Hey, Koshiro, are you watching this? I made a friend. And it's so good. I love Yamato and I love Koshiro in this, but I really like Taichi. I really like the character that he has in this season. It's just it's better Taichi, and it's also just sort of big dumb Labrador golden retriever friend Taichi. It's just, he's a good boy. He's just so good. They're all, inside of you there are many, many wolves. One of them is Taichi, one of them is Koshiro, one of them is Yamato. They are all different types of dogs.
The rest of them are gay.
Well, all of them, yeah. So yeah, Taichi's he's my favorite. I think that he might just continue to be my favorite, judging by how the character is so far. I can't wait to meet other characters. However, I'm excited to see this season's portrayal of Mimi. I'm really hopeful, considering Mimi's always been my favorite character, which is unusual because as a kid I hated anything that was like I rejected aggressively anything that was moderately girly. I hated I would actually just hate the color pink, and now I'm just like, pink is fine. It is a color. You can wear it with blue. It is a good color.
Pink is very
wear whatever.
good.
I don't care.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, pink
is what I mostly wear in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, because like pink can be good. It's fine, but I was so aggressively against the color pink when I was a kid because I just rejected anything girly. Just aggressively. So the fact that Mimi was my favorite and has always been my favorite is kind of like unusual considering that, but I'm very interested to see how Mimi is.
Mimi.
Yeah, I want to see like tech Mimi. I want to see like super smart tech Mimi, or maybe she's just like she has this thingy and this thingy and this thingy, but it turns out she knows about the thingies. She's just kind of just dumbing it down for everyone else. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it because I have faith in the way that Adventure Colin is writing its characters.
God, Mimi just showing up Koshiro would be amazing.
Yeah. And Koshiro just like falling completely in love.
Yeah.
Like, no, not like romantic love, but just like the way you would just be impressed with someone.
Things.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be like I'm not a huge shipper, especially because they're children. But
well, sure.
I would really he would be so impressed. I just want cool, smart Mimi. I want character growth. I want some depth. It's great. Yeah, so Taichi's my favorite for this episode, but I love all the characters.
They're good.
What about the rating out of 5 for this episode?
Not as good as the first episode. I'd probably give it about 3.5.
I'm gonna say maybe 3.5. Yeah.
Are we doing it out of 5?
See, out of 5. Yeah, I gave it a 3.5 when I was first watching it, but then when I was like writing my my blog post about it, I had to give it a 3.8.
I was just say I might be able to up that to a 3.75 because 3.5 feels a little low, but it's definitely not as good as the first episode.
No, it's definitely not as good as the first episode, which I think we all gave a 4 from memory.
We did.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's definitely better than a 3. It's not a 4, and I said, oh, so it's a 3.5, and then I thought 3.5 sounds so low considering how hype I was, how much I loved the animation, how much I loved the characters, how much I loved the moment where all their crests glow, or like the 4 crests we have so far. It would be nice to see Koshiro's glow as well, but whatever. I guess it makes sense because siblings and stuff.
I would have liked in this episode to have seen Koshiro, show up and do stuff in the internet and not just keep sitting there.
It was cool that he was involved at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to give a 3.8 because
I am willing to agree on 3.8, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with 3.5 because as soon as you start going to 0.8s and stuff, then it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, it is. Like, I wasn't really like, 3.8 is such a weird number. It's not a 0.5, it's not a 0.0, it's a 0.8. But then I kept on saying, okay, 3.5, but it felt low. There were bits that I didn't like about this episode, but not enough that it should be a 3.5 for me. So, yeah, 3.8 because it's definitely not a 4. It's definitely not as good as the first episode, but it is still promising, and I guess it's especially counts on how good episode 3 is. If episode 3 is good, then the 3.8 is solid. If episode 3 is bad, it's like... It's not so good, if that makes sense. So it's so that was my rating of it. What about rankings? So this is something that I did for the coverage of Atmon, where for each episode I rank it on I rank each individual episode as opposed to other episodes. I more or less copied this idea from an old podcast that is currently on hiatus called Digipodify, where they ranked the episodes of Digimon Adventure. So I'd always felt that was a nice way to rank how good episodes were.
Sure. So far I'm definitely 1-2.
Yeah, it's 1-2. It's easy at the moment, but it gets hard when you get equally good episodes, but you have to put one above the other. But you keep on changing them. But at the moment, it's fairly easy. So I guess we're all agreeing that it's episode 1 is at the top, episode 2 is at the bottom.
Am I going to have to make a spreadsheet?
I have a spreadsheet. Don't worry.
Good.
But I need to keep track of my own rankings as well. We can't all just have the same ranking, can we?
I can share it, but I was going to keep track of everyone's all of our ratings and our rankings and our favourite characters because I like charts.
I like charts.
I am into charts.
Yeah, I'm like, whenever I did the podcast, like back when it was like original Lost in Translation when we were just watching the series, I always wanted to make charts, and Jay was so anti-charts.
No,
he was just like,
I love
why?
charts. Give me
I'm
the
like,
graphs.
but look at this chart. You can see how much we liked episodes. And he's like, why would you bother? I'm like, because it's cool.
Just
you get to see things.
Just wait till we finished 02 and Johto, because then I'll be releasing the spreadsheet with all the things we kept track of.
Oh, I'm so hype. I love keeping track of things. So yeah, we're in agreement. It's 3.8 or 3.5, and this episode was not as
good.
Yeah, 3.5 is still good.
Solid.
Yeah. Like, if 3.5 is like one of the lowest marks we give, that is really good. But I don't think that a show can
Be
maintain
that consistent.
Yeah, which is bad. Like, all shows should be consistently good. But yeah, I'm still hopeful.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to questions. We got a couple of questions, but I will just blow through them. So first of all, we have Garwudan on Tumblr, who says, love how the music seems to line up with the animation, such as the musical strings and Omegamon's attacks. I loved that.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
so good. Like, this is why I don't mind about the lack of insert songs like Braveheart and Butterfly, because we get dynamic music as opposed to Hey Digimon, which is always the same every time it happens. Like, I like that it's dynamic. If they don't have one set song, they can be a bit artistic with it. That's nice. Garwudan also says that their one fear is also the Time Mat show, which that's reasonable. I'm less scared than I was last episode, but
I'm still pretty scared.
I definitely am, yeah.
I mean, it's always a concern. It's just less of a concern for me now, hopefully. Maybe I'm just being too optimistic.
How is Patamon supposed to be the Deus Ex Machina now that they've already got Omnimon?
It's okay. They can share. And also Koshiro. Anyway, over to Coffee. Chakmon says that they're psyched for the new series and great choice of co-host. Quinn has the cutest giggle. I would agree.
Thank you.
I had to send this to Quinn as soon as I got it. Like, oh, this is nice. And Chakmon's one of the longest listeners, so it was really nice to hear from all these older listeners who I haven't heard from since we finished the coverage of like Cross Wars and Young Hunters.
Sure.
So this is nice.
That's nice.
Next we have it is. Next we have Jason on our website, who doesn't mind the time at focused and loved the episode, but it could do to slow down a bit. Whoops. Hope you enjoyed episode 2, which was 3 times faster. And then Jason said 2 champions introduces a bit much. Oh, well. How about a super ultimate?
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
And hopefully the rest of the show isn't as fast-paced. Sorry. But overall, excited for the series. So it turns out it could get even faster in a very shocking way. And everyone who I've spoken to says this is very fast. Very sudden, but, whatever.
I'm very okay with fast, because when it's not fast, it's reunion in try.
Yes.
Which is just too slow.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer stuff happening to no stuff happening, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have SP on our website, who hopes opening will update with more chosen. Me too. And says that it seems Yamato is the first chosen, and maybe the divorce struck him harder than the original adventure. The thing I like about the adventure novel is that Yamato actually thinks about how the divorce made him push people away, and I'm a big fan of that, because we don't really talk about how Yamato feels, I guess. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of that. Yes, so it would be nice to see how that divorce has struck him, but I mean, not nice because it's sad, but nice because it's nice to have character.
Sure.
And SP also said that they thought that the evolution lines were different, and it's disappointing that they're the same. We don't necessarily know that the evolution paths are that are the same yet. They could have branching evolution paths. We could have armor evolutions. We could have, especially because we're blowing through the normal evolution so quickly, maybe that leaves room for new evolutions, if that makes sense. And that's what I'm hoping. So
that would be interesting. I would be surprised if the main evolution lines were different, but I could see something along the lines of lots of geogresses or maybe armor evolutions happening.
Yeah.
It would explain as well why they don't have set Digivolution sequences anymore if they have a much wider variety of Digivolutions.
I'd be into it, but I don't see it happening.
Oh yeah, me neither. But I've always wanted more of a following from the VPET lines where they just can evolve to like 3 different adults.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Next we have Lucky Ender Guy on YouTube, who says, what if Diaboromon returns? Would he have a new evolution that's past Omegamon, which was from the Revenge of Diaboromon? I mean, I love Diaboromon. I don't want him to return. I want new bad guys.
New bad guys very similar in design to Diaboromon anyway, especially in colour scheme.
Well, I mean, Algamon isn't new. Algamon is from the Savers movie, so he's not like new. But
I've not watched Savers movie.
Because it was only released in Japan. I'm fairly certain.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Savers.
I honestly did not finish Savers when it was coming out. I'm not even sure I've seen all of Savers even now.
I've seen the series, but
Savers.
not the movies.
Yeah. Well, there's only one movie and it's 20 minutes long.
That'll be why I've not seen it.
Yeah.
I have also never finished Young Hunters. I never actually saw the crossover episode.
It's okay. You don't miss out on that much.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's on Crunchyroll, so you can just watch that episode. But,
sure, and like that was the thing to keep watching for, and it just wasn't enough.
It's a slog. I mean, you get Mimi and Ruki in the same screen.
Oh, I thought it was just the Goggle Boys. So that does help.
No, yeah, Joe's in it.
Joe?
Ken's in it, I think.
They're good ones.
He's like, oh, where's everyone else gone? Where are you gone, guys? Come back.
That's adorable.
And Chakmon's in it from like as in Tommy's evolution.
Huh.
Yeah, so there's more than just the Goggle Boys. So that I'm a big fan of that.
Right.
And Kiriha blushes because Ruki and Mimi are just so good, and they save him. But yeah, there are bits. There are bits that are good. Next we have JL via email, who says, regarding children fighting Digimon, and says how we forgot to mention about 1999 Tai 1v1ing a Bakemon, which...
That's true.
You're right.
That did happen.
That is a really cool clip, and I can't believe... Considering I just watched all of Adventure just recently... I'm surprised that I forgot that because it is cool. And we also forgot Iori with a giant spoon in 02 in the bug house.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
And Jen fighting a Divamon in Tamers.
Oh, yeah.
See, I mean, it's not that it's never happened, but it is definitely the exception, not the rule. And so far, we're 2 for 2, which is great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Taichi keeps on doing it, and the fact that he wears gloves.
I would like to see everyone just do some of their own fighting.
Oh, also, Mimi threw poo at a Digimon once.
That's true. That doesn't quite count, but, we'll take it.
Yeah, I think we mentioned Miyako. Yeah. Next, we have Kaida on Discord, who says... Also, Ruki stabbed a Harpymon.
That's
you're right.
True.
Yep.
That is also true. Well done. I don't know why we forgot about these, but I feel like for some reason, maybe it's because Taichi just did it so much better than anyone else.
I've not seen
Tamers
in
pointing out that
6 years.
It's never a thing that happens a lot.
No, except for Masaru, who just does it.
Yeah, awesome. Masaru doesn't count, though.
And lastly, we have CC Takado on Twitter, who says, going forward, do you want a remix of the classical or branch out with a new storyline?
Very much new, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Adventure.
Throw me some references. Those are fun. Like, bring back Edamon for one episode, just so that I can have those jokes.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is more a reboot than a remake.
Yeah, and I think it is a reboot, and I'm really happy that it's... so far fairly different. Yes, war game, as in our war game. Yes, we got Omegamon, but in a very different way. Very much more fast-paced. And, I'm a big fan of that. Maybe Jogress has something more to do with the friendship between the Digimon rather than the friendship between the two partner humans. I don't know.
Yeah, and if we're going to keep doing weird feather bullshit, let's have, tell me about homeostasis a little bit more.
Yeah, but it has there's lots of promise. And again, that's why I gave it a 3.8, because
It definitely has potential.
Yeah, it has a lot of potential.
I just realised it's probably feathers because Angemon and Angelamon both had wings.
I mean, yes, but I still want a little
I didn't twig that till now.
Oh, really?
I'm slow sometimes.
No, I made the connection, like, oh yeah, because they're both the angels. That makes sense.
Just like, no, I get it. It's nothing to do with birds.
We didn't need a prophecy this time, so that's good.
Also, Just a quick thing. Maybe Omegamon isn't... Maybe this Omegamon isn't a super ultimate. Maybe this is more like a perfect level. Because we've seen 2 adults Joggerus before in 02, and they became a perfect level.
Okay.
That's possible, but I think it's very unlikely that they'd change something that well established.
I know, but I'm just saying that this could be just a different one.
Okay.
So that'd make it less of like a need to nerf if it's just like the Digimon's power scales depending on who Joggerus, like what levels Joggerus to make it. I don't know.
I have an
I wouldn't
awful theory.
against it, but go ahead.
My awful theory that I'm sure is wrong is that this isn't actually Joggerus, Agumon, and Gabumon. It's just Omegamon from the Royal Knights has appeared to help.
Yeah, I like that.
That would be
And
pretty great.
we get the Royal Knights again.
Yeah, I mean...
We kind of have
Royal
to get
Knights...
the Royal Knights, and they have to be
hopefully it's
evil.
done. They have to be good though. Like, as in the plot has to be good because the Royal Knights don't tend to be done well.
No, they
Savers
do
was
not.
okay.
They were done pretty well in Cyber
Frontier
Sleuth, if I remember right.
Yeah, no, they were
pretty
good in
there.
Cyber Sleuth. Yeah,
But yeah, I'm having flashbacks to Frontier where they're evil for no reason.
and also there's only 2 of them.
That too.
Yeah, but yeah. So do you guys have any more thoughts about the episode in general?
Nothing I don't think I've covered at least twice. So
I don't like that
It
we
was
have
a
to
good
wait
episode.
a week every time.
Yeah, which is I'm glad that I don't like to wait because it means that I am clearly enjoying the episode. It's not like I'm not going, oh god, I have to watch another one. Oh no, I can't, oh man, this week's gonna go so fast. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I'm glad it's not that.
so far I'm pretty okay with not having to make meticulous notes about the dub changes.
Yes,
Because I can definitely
Yeah.
see this dub being really bad.
or really good, or just really like just dub, just very dub.
I think one thing with the dub is I wouldn't want Joshua Seth back because this feels like a very different Taichi. I would
Yes,
like some fresh voices.
Digimon can have the same voices, but yeah, the children are. I feel like they're just new characters.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah. At least
Yeah, which is
ideally
good.
they will be.
And
I hope we
the
get a
dub
dub.
would keep them. Yeah,
At all.
I'd like a dub. I'd like a dub. I still want a dub of Atmon.
I couldn't remember if we ever got one, but I don't
We
normally
didn't.
We
watch
didn't.
the dubs.
We didn't get one of Young Hunters either.
Well, that was no great loss.
And part 2 of Cross Wars never came to Australia.
Wow.
Yeah, we got the first season on TV, and then the first season on Netflix, and the first season on DVD, but we never got part 2, which was the best part of Cross Wars.
Yeah.
They just gave up. They were just like, well, no one's going to watch that. Alright, everyone, thank you for joining me, and of course, thank you, Quinn and Stevie, for joining me.
Anytime.
You're more than welcome.
And where can people find you both?
You can find me on the Twitters at RealYubico.
And you can find me on the Twitters at Stevie Patterman, and we are both on the Moncast every week, where we talk about
Yay!
Pokemon and Digimon.
Yay!
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 So next time we'll be talking about episode 3, which is called To the Digital World. So do you guys have any predictions?
They're gonna go to the digital world.
Damn, beat me to it.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's a pretty
controversial, I
big
know.
speculation. Yeah, it's a bit of a leap.
I think Omegamon will defeat Algamon, and they will stop the nuclear missile from hitting Tokyo as well.
Also fair.
Wow.
I am hoping that the end of the fight lasts under 2 minutes, maybe 5 tops, and then we move on to letting the other kids do anything.
Yeah, I would. I hope that too. As for general predictions, I mean, I've read the very basic 3-liner synopsises from that were released the other day in a TV guide, but they were very vague. They were just incredibly vague. So even reading those, I'm just still like, I don't know what will happen. Obviously, yeah, they go to the digital world. That's a big leap, I know.
Which kids do you think are going to finally make their appearances?
I want Koshiro to meet Tentomon first of all. I want whoever is contact to be somewhat revealed, especially if it's Tentomon.
That would be a really good choice.
I really want the contact to be Tentomon.
I think that is a better choice than they will go with.
Yeah, I mean, I want Takaru and Hikari to meet their partners, or at least have some involvement, especially Takaru, who hasn't done really much. We don't even know his name, really. We don't know... We know that he is related to Yamato, but we don't... The show hasn't told us.
Yeah.
I couldn't
In
care less
universe
about
knowledge,
Takaru.
He's just a kid who exists. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't care
Seems
about him
cute,
because I only care about Patamon in that relationship.
though. And Garurumon.
And Garurumon. Garurumon's good, but Patamon though.
Yeah. Any further predictions?
TK will have a summer camp shirt.
And different hats. Lots of different hats. hopefully. I like the hat thing in Try.
I did too.
That was
Bring
good.
that back. Yeah.
God,
All
you're
right,
just
so let me-
the worst dressed person.
Then Koshiro from Adventure Colin happened.
That's true, I meant in Try. But you're not wrong.
Our link dump's linked in the description, and our Redbubble is also linked in the description, and you can get more than just shirts there too. You can get, like, maybe a pillow. Shrug. Anyway, you can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode, or message us on our website, LostinTranslationmon.com, where you can vote in polls, check our release schedule, and our blog posts. And you can follow us at TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in Translation on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a discussion about it on With the Will, and a Reddit thread in the Digimon subreddit. And we would appreciate if you were to review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and any other podcast listening app that you use. And you might have noticed we have a new logo, which I was just spamming to Quinn and Stevie the other day because I was editing it together and I was just like, which one looks better? I can't decide, because it was time to update it for the Digivice, and I even included a little Atmon symbol as well. So yeah, you'll probably notice that we look a bit different now. Hopefully it's good. I think it's good. It took me a very long time to edit because I took the screenshot of Koshiro holding the Digivice and I just edited his hand away, so I could have chosen a better image, but whatever, I like the size of it. Anyway, so you can donate to our Patreon, which is linked in the description, from as little as $1 a month, and that gets you access to a listener Discord server, but there are higher levels of more rewards such as notes, early episodes, and more. And thank you to our supporters on Patreon: Joe, Anime Guy, who's Anime Guy Kurosaki, then the number 1 on YouTube, Stephen Reeves, who is at Wilding64 and Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who you can follow on Tumblr at Chisai236, Kyle, Tom, Lizmet, who's a Lekmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Sam, Spiral, Keith from a computer podcast on the internet, Magnus, and Hemi. And you can also make one-off donation on our PayPal, which you can find in the description. It's paypal.me/Ergemon. You can donate to me also on my Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/Airdra. And thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for joining me, of course, to Stevie and Quinn.
Bye,
Absolutely.
everyone.
We'll see you next
And
week.
I thought I'd put them to sleep for a second. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.